Why is Microsoft excluded from FANG? First, let's talk about FANG. It's Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. These are big five tech companies. They're very consumer oriented. They have a strong brand in the consumer world, but I don't like to write off Microsoft given its history in the world of technology and software. First up, Scott Galloway, a good professor at NYU. He invented the Big Four in his book. He talked about all these companies, I think before including either Netflix, before Netflix, and maybe switch around Apple and Amazon. And then Eric Schmidt excluded Microsoft in the conversation many years ago because he also didn't believe that it was in the mind of consumers. I don't believe that's the case because Microsoft has a direct competitive product with Google called Bing, search engine. And Microsoft has the Surface tablets, laptops, Xbox, and a few other products, and a very strong gaming esports niche as well. So I don't like to exclude Microsoft. In 2017, Jim Cramer had mentioned FANG for the first time, included Netflix given the increase in subscriber growth. But I don't like to include Netflix given that it doesn't have a very strong, profitable business model. Microsoft definitely is in the top 5, top 6, top 3, however you want to categorize the leaders in the space. It has been around since 1975. It deserves to be on the list. You do not need to look at acronyms for people to tell you who's what and who's a leader or not. Microsoft owns its atmosphere. It owns the enterprise customer and client. It has a very strong consumer base as well. Don't write it off. It's a big company. It's important. And it's important to understand that if other people are writing it off, that means they're missing something. And I think it's important that these guys have figured out how to pivot their business model. They've changed it. They've continued to be a $1 trillion plus company, and they've been around the longest. So very important to understand that. And then figure out which companies are also being written off that people aren't including for the next 10 years. So that's a good way to kind of change your mindset and focus on areas that are underserved and undervalued.